Okay, it's 12:14 in the morning, and I want to go to bed. But first, we must make this head puzzle video, and that's okay. I will be back next week, and then I can go to bed at normal times, as long as my newest daughter stays asleep. So anyway, let's talk about your math, not me, right? Who cares about me? So I think that some of you may be frustrated, but I want you to take that finger that you're pointing at Mr. Field and turn it around. Oh, like a star. Turn you are a star, by the way, but your star that needs to turn your finger around and point it at yourself, right? And then you'll be a shining star. Okay. Why? Why do you need to do that? Because, for example, look at this person here. And it's now November 2nd, and this all says due October 27th. And they didn't even do half of the work. So then they're gonna get if we did have a quiz, they would get the quiz and be like, and I would be like, yeah. Well, I was saying that when I saw your two blue star buttons that never went away. And look, on this little small sample, there's 4 people. So when they look at me and they talk about I'm frustrated, I'm struggling, I'm going to be like, because you're not doing what you're supposed to. That's why you're struggling. And then there's even some people like this. Yeah. So how many questions should they have in the organizer? 3 and 1 red question? I don't think so. I see 100%, and I see 3 very low scores. So there should be 4 red questions here. There should be like what? 3 and then 2. So 4, 3, 2 at least. So that's 6, 7, 7, 6, 79. 9 red questions. But I'm in the organizer, so let's just look. Does anybody have 9 red questions? Alexis has several, and did not I make, a whole video about Alexis's red questions? So look, King James has 2, Davina has 1, Miles has no red questions, so he should be definitely prepared for the quiz. Carolyn has, Carolyn has 4 red questions. And so we see, some people have, Joshua has nothing. So I'm talking about individuals. Jeanette has 1 question in the organizer. So, oh wow, thought I almost got to the end. All right, so Amir has 2, and then just start, and then I don't get this at all, and I don't know what you're talking about because there's nothing there. So if you guys continue to post in the organizer like that, you're going to continue to struggle, and it's going to be your fault. You need to post in the organizer the way I tell you. And I just happen to scroll up to the top of the organizer, and it tells you how to post in it. And I've also told you that you post all the questions you have. All right. So let's try again this week, and then I'll be back next week, and I can, you say all this in person. Then you can fire back at me, you know. Mr. Field, but you're doing this and you're going too fast and you're not teaching me through video and I can't learn through video. Yeah, just come on, lay it on me. No problem. We'll get through it. All right. So I hope that you really enjoy this first assignment, intercepts from a graph. And that's because it's very easy. All right. Intercepts are intersections. Intersections. So we are talking about linear equations and graphs, okay? For the whole month, we're talking about, we now have 2 variables, x and y, and we can talk about a line. And so a line has 2 important components. I want you to write them down now. two components of a line. Number one, the intercepts. And there are two, the x and y. And number two, slope, which is the steepness, right? We want to know, is that line like kind of flat? Is it really steep? How is it? Is it negative? Is it going down? Is it positive, going up? Okay, so we want to describe the line. And so the intercepts are where the line crosses that axis. So this is the x-axis here, the little x is there. Where does the blue line cross the x-axis? It crosses here. That's 3. Okay, so the x-intercept is 3. The x-intercept has an x value of 3. And what is that point? It's none other than 3, 0. The y value is 0. The y value is always 0 at the x-intercept. Okay, now let's talk about the y-intercept. Where does the line cross the y-axis? At -10. So, and that's the y value. And what's the x value? 0. And that's how it goes. So this is, just the first example. And the rest of the examples that I do will be from your red questions if you put them there and communicate with me about it. If you don't and you struggle, that's your fault. I'm giving you all the opportunities to ask all your questions. And if you look at me and say, Mr. Field, I don't have any questions, but I don't get it, that doesn't make any sense, because there must have been a problem you got wrong that you need to put in the red section. Very simple to me. All right, now let's talk about intercepts from an equation. So did you notice that the zeros are like that? It's always like that. X-intercept has a y of 0. The y-intercept has an x of 0. The x-intercept has a y of 0. The y-intercept has an x of 0. The other letter is 0. Always, okay? So when we find the y-intercept, that's when x is 0. And when we find the x-intercept, that's when y is 0. The other letter is 0. What are we going to do with it? Plug it in. So y-intercept, x is 0. So I'm going to put 0 right here when I write the equation. Y minus 3 equals 5. But I'm not going to write x. I'm going to write 0 minus 2. Just wrote that thing, but I wrote 0 in place of x. And now I shall solve. Y minus 3 equals 5 times -2. Right, that becomes -2. And that becomes -10. Right, do the multiplication. Now put variables on the left, numbers on the right. So this can be -10 plus 3, which is -7. The y is -7. Now, I'm just going to write the equation over here. But now I'm going to put 0 in for y. And I'm going to solve it. Now I'm going to distribute. And we did that whole unit on solving equations. So now I'm just using that skill. Variables on the left, -5x. Numbers on the right, -10 is already on the right. And 3 is going to go over to the right as a positive. Combine like terms, that would be -7. Now, did I make a mistake here? All right, so 7/5 or 1.2. So the x-intercept is 7/5. And the y-intercept is -7. Okay, I got it right. All right. Now this last equation, last year, it threw the kids for a loop. All right. They really tried hard and got it eventually. If you listen to me now, you won't have a problem. All right. It won't take you that long. This is slope from a graph. So this is your first time measuring, calculating the slope of a line. What is the difference between this line and this line? There is a difference, and it's the slope. The slope is different. Also the intercept, but I was trying to make this one steeper than this one. And so we can actually give the slope a number. How do we do that? First thing you do is pick 2 points. Okay, so I'm going to pick the intercept right there. Nice easy point. Then I'm going to look at the, oh, I found another one right here. That's 2, 2. And then after you pick the 2 points, what we do is we subtract the x's and y's. So we got 0, 3, we got 2, 2, right? And we want to subtract. So 0 minus 2 is -2. 3 minus 2 is 1. But the slope is y over x, the change in y over the change in x. So this is my y column. This is my x column. So the change in y is 1. And the change in x is -2. Okay, so the slope is 1 over -2. When I have a negative sign, I either give it to the numerator or I put it in front. I'm going to give it to the numerator. The slope is -1/2. Okay. I'm going to do another one a little bit faster. Just get the hang of it. You should try this one and put your answer in, and then see if you get the same answer I do. So I'm going to find my 2 points. Sometimes they trick you. Let's choose this point. So 0, -3. -3 is my first point, and 2, 1 is my next point. And I'm going to subtract them. 0 minus 2 is -2. -3 minus 1 is -4. And so I put my y over my x. Right? It's rise over run. So this is my y column. This is my x column, right? These are the numbers, but you got to put them in the right way. So the slope is a fraction. -4 divided by -2 is 2. Slope of this line is 2. All right, there you go, guys. Okay, I hope what I said earlier makes sense about completing your assignments, posting in the organizer. Let's just go ahead and make the week 9 table right now. Clemson. Week 9 intercepts, slopes. So we just go ahead and we color first column red, next column yellow, this one green. Is there someone generic document? All right. So late. All right, so there you go. So post all your red questions. If you struggle with slope from a graph, then post all the questions that you struggle with. Don't say, should I post this one? Yes, you should. All right, otherwise Mr. Phil will be frustrated. Bye guys, I'm going to bed.